everybody. I have Ryan from ABBYY Software with me today, and we're going to be talking about process and digital intelligence. But before we dive into that, Ryan, would you mind giving everybody a quick introduction?
Hello, everyone. I'm glad to be here today. I'm Ryan Raiker. Today, I'm a director of digital marketing at ABBYY. A little under a year ago, I came to ABBYY after the acquisition of Timeline PI, which was a small technology startup wrapped around process intelligence out of southeastern Pennsylvania. So in my role at ABBYY, I've been a senior product marketing manager for Timeline, going over all the basics of what is process intelligence and really understanding that market and helping to merge Timeline PI into the ABBYY product portfolio. And earlier this year, I was appointed to the director of digital marketing, really heading up all of our things wrapped around the web experience and the content and messaging on the web.
Thank you. So to get us started, you mentioned that you came to ABBYY from that Timeline acquisition. So I thought a great place for us to start is just to make sure everybody that's joining us today has a strong understanding of what process intelligence is and kind of where that fits within the technology space.
So I always like to tell this story about, people who know anything about old map books or maps. So you're trying to get from point A to point B and you whip out your old, could be MapQuest, it could be even older than that, and it's an actual map book. And you're trying to get from one place to the other. And if you ever get out of the path that you're going, it's very hard to figure out trying to get back to where you need to be. And process intelligence is really that real-time GPS. I relate it to an application like Waze, where it'll tell you the traffic that's ahead of you. It'll give you a detour so that you can alleviate any of the stresses that's in front of you. If you want to grab a macchiato at Starbucks, you can key that address in and change your route. It's real time. It's telling you how things are flowing. It's helping you navigate what's in front of you and to help you achieve something better, right? So it's going to get you there 3 minutes faster. It's going to get you your macchiato in the path that you're going. It's going to let you know that maybe you should leave 10 minutes earlier this morning. And really, process intelligence is doing that for operations. So it's really the improvement from looking at these old process maps. I say the map book as a paper map when you're looking about geography, but businesses still have, the standard operating procedures in a binder on the wall. So they are still looking at process maps. Timeline and the process intelligence solutions are these real-time process GPSs.
Wonderful. When you shared that, the image of, consulting engagements, and I know you're familiar with this as well, but like the big process maps with the giant sticky notes all over the room as you're trying to go from point A to point Z within your process, and how do we digitize that and bring that forward and unlock new insights, I think is a pretty powerful visual. Anyone that knows me knows I'm like #1 fan of analogies. So thank you for that.
Well, this old school process discovery stuff with sticky notes. I mean, anybody who's been in process consulting, Six Sigma optimization, any of these process meetings, right? It's where, we need to improve X, Y, and Z in the business. And they lock you into a conference room and you really do. Everyone knows the sticky notes on the whiteboard. And I always say that these old methods just simply don't cut it anymore. We can go to that. We can spend that time. But why do that when there's technology in the field that can help us and to improve these efforts? And I think sometimes they also work hand in hand, because if you look at these sticky notes, that's what Deborah in accounting thinks the process looks like. And Bob can give his information about what the finance department thinks. And over in shipping and receiving, Peter's going to tell us this. But then we show them a process map that's digitized. We show them what the technology is discovering across not only one system, but several systems. It shows how each of those people are interacting with each other. By the way, they don't just interact with each other, they interact with other people in other companies. So the technology can really evolve how we look at process improvement, get us faster to our results, as well as provide us real insights, not ones that are based on opinions or really what someone thinks is happening. It's the true as-is operation.
So that leads me to, even within my career, seeing how much this has all changed and how quickly technology is evolving. What is Abby doing to kind of stay lockstep with the changes in the industry and make sure that, the technology is evolving as well?
So, I mean, when you think about automation, and RPA is nothing new, automation's been around for many, many years. And there's definitely this okayness today with automation. Think about where we've come. COVID has certainly rammed digital transformation right into the side of the office. Anybody who was thinking of automation previously is trying to figure out how to get there faster, more efficiently, and almost everyone knows that they need it. So when we think about digital intelligence and how it wraps around and it assists in RPA and any of our enterprise customers, we sit there and think about what we have to offer. So when you start with process intelligence, you get a full understanding of the business. You start to understand what's going wrong, what's going right in the organization. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. The other side of that is content intelligence. That's the understanding and the skills that enable the digital workers to get access to information that's in unstructured content, such as your invoices, your claim sheets, maybe even email documents. So these are all the skills that enable digital workers to see, read, and understand the content and the data that resides within the enterprise. When you bring these two things together and you deliver it through one platform, it's unique to ABBYY that digital intelligence empowers the future hybrid, the human and digital worker to work together with the skills and the vision and understanding to get processes done and completed more efficiently, more effectively, and with less error.
Okay, so leading into my last question then for you, Ryan, is to focus in on a little bit more of why is this digital intelligence? You shared the insights that come out of it, but why is this important to organizations and why is this something that people should start paying very close attention to?
So just thinking about automation and truly intelligent automation today, the proverbial ball and chain to any RPA project is what do I automate? And if I already have things that are automated, what do I automate next? Without the understanding of how things are working, it's really difficult to be able to say that this is the project that I should take on. This is the thing that I should focus on. So while the executives in many organizations are having this top-down approach to tell the workforce that we need to do this, we need to do that, and we need to get more efficient, and we need to implement RPA, no one really knows where to start. So the first thing is that digital intelligence is getting you a roadmap to your intelligent journey or your intelligent automation journey. The other part of this is really it's a holistic approach. So you can go out in the market and you can shop around for several products and try and duct tape these things together as the solution that you need. But the business users are no longer, I mean, not that business users really ever were super IT savvy, but a lot of these technologies are tied down by the IT resources. And businesses can't be restrained by IT or by the need to program something that may actually, thinking about the whiteboarding we're talking about, a lot of these initiatives are taking many months to get started. We're seeing that the industry is looking for immediate results, especially under the current predicament in the climate. So it's really the understanding of how can you continue your path of transformation, start it faster, and then have a plan to solve the right problems? Because a lot of people are starting these automation initiatives, and what they're finding is they've automated the wrong process. It had a negative effect further down the line. There's results that aren't warranted, they aren't expected. So if you have a system and a complete approach that really understands things end to end and all the impact of whether it's automation, it's other things that you implement in your business, you can see those changes. And ultimately, there's a few things that people worry about. It's improvement, but there's other things like compliance and other risks that become a part of that. We have to be able to approach these intelligent automation problems with a process approach that really starts to uncover all of the mysteries within the data, all of the things that are happening within the organization, and be able to give that insight and skill so that the digital workforce is better prepared for tomorrow.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate you joining me for our chat this morning, Ryan. And for anybody that's interested in learning a little bit more about this, please feel free to follow Ryan here on LinkedIn or reach out to me and I'd be happy to connect you guys. Have a wonderful day, everybody.